Alright, what is cracking, everybody? Check it out so you guys know what time it is. Coach Bandit, who we got over here? How are you?
I'm gay. No, just kidding. I'm Mrs. Bandit.
There you go, there you go. You guys have it. Me and my beautiful lady, we're gonna answer these questions that we were asked. Let's go with right here. Where did you guys meet? Any advice to find the love of your life? Where do we meet? You remember?
So, this is my story. My part of the story. So a long time ago, many years ago, I saw him at the gym. We went to LA Fitness together, but I did talk to him, and I don't think he noticed me, because I'm always in the corner, far away from everybody.
I noticed her.
So he says, but he never talked to me. So, and then after I seen him a couple of times, I was like, who is this dude? Because, you know, he was cute and whatnot. So I saw him talking to somebody that I knew at the gym, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go look through his followings to see, like, because I didn't know his name. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go through his following list and to see. And lucky enough, he had like a clothing page, and that page had less followers and less people he was following. So I was like, okay, I might find him here. But I was lucky enough, he was following his clothing page. So I went, and then I stalked him for a couple of days, maybe a week, I think. I had to make sure he was girlfriend free, respect. After that, I asked my friend, I was like, fuck, I really want to follow him. There was just this one day out of nowhere, I really wanted to follow him so bad, and then my friend was just like, do it. And I was like, okay, why not? I followed him, and then I threw my phone away. And then seconds later, he followed me.
Mr. Active on social media, that's why. Been on my stuff. Yeah, but that's how she found me. She was creeping and stalking from my Instagram. Creeper status. But then yeah, when she did that, I remember I was at work. I was working at the airport in Long Beach, and then I see my phone and I was like, what the hell? I was like, I know this cute girl. And then I was like, damn, she's following me, liking my shit. I already knew. When she started liking my stuff,
I wasn't liking your shit.
Yes, you did. You liked my stuff. You liked my stuff. Yes, you did.
No,
so let's stop there.
I probably like one picture.
Okay, you still liked it. Doesn't matter. So you liked that. That's how I noticed that you followed me in the first place. I seen you popping on my stuff, so I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, boom. You know, it's funny though. I didn't even know how to say your name.
I know. He still doesn't know how to say it, right?
No, you're just too. What's the word? Anal about your name and shit. Everybody struggles. But then yeah, that's how we started talking. I think I messaged you, no?
Yeah, he did. He replied to one of my stories.
Yeah.
I had posted after the gym. He was like, oh, I see you around the gym.
Advice to find the love of your life? Well, my advice would be, you gotta find yourself first. I talk about this a lot on Instagram. I think a lot of times people try to find somebody else when they haven't found themselves. And the problem with that is the moment that you find somebody and you still haven't found yourself, somewhere down the line, you're going to find out who you are, and you might just not want to be with that person that you found, throughout the time where you weren't in tune with yourself. So my advice is find yourself, get healthy, get a routine that you like for your life, and then don't break it for nobody. If you find someone that you want to be with, you got to make sure that you can stick to your routine still. That's why we worked, because I have my routine. She knew what my routine was up front, and it fit together. Now, I've had other relationships where the routines were completely different. And now it makes sense why all the other relationships didn't work out, because they just didn't fit. You know what I'm saying? I had my wants, they had their wants. And it was like, I'm not breaking, what I want for nobody. It gotta come naturally. So when we found each other, it was just natural. Our wants with, when we have kids, the way we live daily, we go to the gym together 24/7. You don't see us really without each other. It's pretty rare. And I think that's the type of relationship people should strive for. You should want to be with your person pretty much most of the time. You know what I'm saying? If you feel like you need a break or you got to get away, you probably got there's something else that you probably don't like about that person. Because no matter what, even if we find stuff, it's not like, fuck, I want to get away from you, or I want to get away from her, stuff like that. And I've been in relationships where I just wanted to get the hell away from that person. I didn't want to see him, I didn't want to talk, I didn't want to be around him. And I think that's a big sign, because since we've been together, there's never a time where no matter, like I said, even if we're fighting, it's not like I'm like, oh fuck, I gotta get away from you, or I've never like left the house or stuff like that. So
Stand right here with me.
yeah. What's your advice, at least from a female side?
Be patient, to be honest. Don't settle for what you have now if you're not happy. Don't settle for any disrespect, any screaming, any yelling. I mean, we yell at each other, but it's not like, fuck you, bitch, and this and that, you know?
Yeah, don't use the B word. Once you use the B word once, it becomes a habit, and then you're screwed. Be patient?
Yeah, just be patient and find one, don't settle.
Okay. How do you deal with lust? How do you deal with lust?
The only lust I got right here is I can't deal with it.
Well, what's your definition of lust? I think this person's I think he's like, you know, fantasizing. Yeah.
Like, let's say you see like a beautiful lady with a big fat ass walking around, and you're like, oh, I wanna. You know, like that's.
Yeah.
I feel like for a female, it's easier not to do that. I don't know. I've never really struggled with that. Men struggle more with that than females.
Yeah, well, men, yeah, it's different. I think the only way you just gotta ignore it. You know, it's like if you people that watch porn and stuff, it's because you engage in it. So if you give into something, you know, you're gonna fall into it. So like if you see someone and you're just staring, thinking about it, yeah, that you're lusting, you know. But if you just see something and just pay no attention to it and just mind your business and just keep doing your thing, you're not gonna be sitting there stuck lusting over something. When it comes to lust, you just gotta control yourself and become a person that you don't need to lust. You know, if you want something, you could go get it.
Don't force it.
In all honesty, yeah, don't force it. I think if you're struggling with lust, it's just you're not, you know,
you're not mentally strong.
Yeah, too, and you haven't worked on yourself enough. How do you feel about any LGBTQ followers or fans? How do you feel?
I love all people.
Yeah, I don't judge nobody. You can do whatever you want.
Just don't be weird and sending, you know, like videos.
I mean, but that goes for anybody, boy or girl. You know, like or man, woman, whatever. You know, it's all just about respect. You get respect if you're, you know, gay, fucking a different race, black, white. It doesn't matter. You know, like if you respect me, I respect anybody. Doesn't matter what you are. You know. Coach Bandit, do you use baby oil on your muscles, and can you bounce your chest muscles? Can I bounce them?
Bounce them?
It's too far. We're not gonna be able to see it.
Go up.
Nah.
Take out your shirt and go up.
Yeah, I could bounce them, but I don't use oil. I mean, anytime I do a video, I mean, if it's in the sun, I got some sunblock on, but I've never had to put oil.
Are you guys gonna have a baby?
Damn! What the hell? Shit. No, I got neutered. She doesn't know, but she don't believe me. I told her. Why do you think I got 0 kids?
We having a baby tomorrow.
Nah.
So he says he has no kids. You have a little kid running around.
Right now?
Yeah.
It's possible.
No, but in all reality, I do want kids later on. Like, I want 2.
Yeah, I'll take 2 tops. Eventually. It's not like, oh yeah, we need it right now. We're still young, you know. And I think a lot of times too many people rush it. I've seen a lot of stuff. I'm not gonna put too much out there. I don't want no one to feel attacked. And I got a lot of people that have kids.
But yeah, we don't feel like having any kids right now. You know, we accidentally have some, then it's fine.
If it happens, it happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
it's not in our plans right now.
Self-development, working. We're not gonna wait too long though. I mean, 27. We're still so young. We're still too many people think like, oh, you're getting old. Like, no. But most people, you just aren't taking care of yourself, so you feel old. So you know, I won't be your average 40-year-old.
Best way to practice mindfulness.
Best way to practice. Explain mindfulness.
Mindfulness is like being present and, you know, just being present in the moment.
In the moment. Mm-hmm. Sobriety's one.
I think the best way to practice mindfulness is that you stop and you breathe, you take in the moment, and you set yourself in the reality that you are in. Like, I feel like a lot of people, we float around and we just pilot our way through life and not really knowing what we are doing, but just be grateful and be present. Like, breathe, look around, you know.
So when you start looking at it like, damn, like every minute, like I don't get to go back to this minute. You know what I mean? I don't get to go back an hour. I don't get to go back to tomorrow. You know, it makes you realize like, damn, you know, you got to really look around and see who's around you and appreciate that. That's how I walk around now. You know, every single moment I sit there and I just appreciate it.
putting a bad character on to impress someone that's bad for your life.
So like trying to impress someone basically?
Yeah, with like, I guess being bad or something.
Well, then your relationship's gonna fail right off the bat, and you're gonna be miserable for a long time. Those are the relationships that fail. You guys ignore the red flags. You guys, give in. You guys choose the toxic person, like knowing that this person isn't a good person, knowing this person's a drunk, knowing this person parties all the time, and then you get together, and you think you can change them. And then in a couple months, you're like, damn, this motherfucker's crazy, like this is too much. And then you're screwed because now you're with them. So now you either have to go through heartache or you stay there the rest of your relationship. So you just don't engage in that shit.
I feel like you shouldn't even pretend to be someone you're not. Be with someone who likes you for you. If you're silly, if you're serious, if you're not, if you're this and that. Like, be yourself.
In relationships too where I felt like I couldn't be myself too. And that's like one of the worst things. Choosing to like suffer. The person that you're with maybe likes something else or is interested in something else. Like I said in one of the last questions, I've been in relationships where the gym wasn't mutual. So for me, it was like, oh no, I can't talk about gym stuff, or I can't talk about certain way of eating. Why? Because this person doesn't do that. So when I would talk about it, this person just looking at me like confused. And it's just like I got to a point to where once I got into it myself, I was like, yeah, this person's no longer for me, and boom, I left. What do you consider being a good foundation for a successful relationship? What do you consider?
Respect. I feel like respect is a good. I would say trust, because trust is a good one. I sometimes struggle with that, not because of him, but because of my own insecurities and my own stuff.
Yeah, trust is a fucking big one. That's what I'll say. Is trust.
I won't be a hypocrite.
Trust is huge.
Trust and respect.
Something that's a good foundation, Actually being with someone that you have something in common with. Because like I was saying, like a lot of relationships fail because sometimes you get with someone and then you just like them in the beginning and then you realize you guys don't even like anything that you guys do. Like your wants are completely different than this person wants. So how are you going to have a successful relationship if one person wants to go this way and one person wants to go this way? If you're not going, like obviously I'm my own person, she's her own person. So we have our own life still, but if you're not going the same way, doesn't mean you got to be right on each other. It could be a little, bumpy on the way, but if you're not going the same direction, it's not going to work. Why Latinas got to be toxic? Oh, why?
I don't know.
We're speaking to one. We're looking at one. It's just, it's in their nature, bro. It's women overall. It's not even just Latinas, bro.
We grow up with novelas, bro.
I think, Latinas are probably a little bit toxic, yeah. I think it's everybody, you can't just say it's one race, but it's just women, bro. It's just women, bro.
It shouldn't be like over dragged.
Yeah, like you shouldn't be like getting hit or
You shouldn't be fighting every day.
Yeah, fighting every day. I think a lot of people, they settle for that. They think it's normal because whether they grew up seeing it or they've been in a relationship so long and they're used to fighting all the time. Like, I've been there. I've been like in relationships to where like all we did was fight. Then it just seemed normal. Low weight, high reps, or heavy weight, low reps. What do you say to that, baby?
Depends what your goal is. If you want to build muscle or if you want to be strong. If you want to be strong, go for high weight, less reps. If you want to build muscle, go for low weight, more reps.
Moderate weight.
Doable.
Yeah, doable weight, but it should still be challenging you. What's the gym playlist? So honestly, for me, I just go on Pandora most times because I don't like being on my phone like all the time looking for phones. I'll put like old school, oldies, Tupac. So let's see, Goldie Loke, Chef Boy, T-Pain, Lowrider Oldies, Chris Brown. I don't listen to Chris Brown. Joe Moses, King Lil G, RJ, Country, Shay Shice, Tupac, Young Jeezy, Trey D, 90s R&B, DJ Quick, Savvy 3rd, Christmas Radio. So these are just, once you go on Pandora, you can put all these on your playlist and just, bam, that's that. That's it, huh?
Yeah. Our video.
Wraps it up. It's just a little quick one. There's some other questions. We'll do a part 2 because I did post another thing today, just in case. Yeah, that's pretty much that. Stay tuned. We're gonna be doing a lot more stuff. We got a dope camera. We got a nice setup right here. I'm gonna put a B, the logo right here. Boom. Set that up a little bit. Who knows? We'll see where we go from here with all this. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Make sure that you subscribe, like the video. You know, all that stuff's important. We're getting the hang of all this stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Thanks for tuning in with me and my